Good morning, I'm Adrian Vanderspuy, and this is what we're going to call Rondekop translated. Rondekop being this round hill behind me at Oldenburg Vineyards, and it's where our vineyards are. And I think over time, translating this terroir, these vineyards, this valley is really what we're all about. We think it's a very special place. In fact, we just have a little bit of a sunrise here, which is absolutely spectacular. It's a very special place. I mean, this morning I was walking around quite early, and you get this wonderful silhouette on these mountains. The sun's sort of rising around us, but in the valley, the mountains block it out. And that's part of the terroir, and it's what makes it interesting. It gives us a wider diurnal temperature. So in summer we're 32, 34 degrees at the top of the day, and then we go down to, say, 15 degrees, sometimes a bit cooler at night. So a lovely differential of temperature, which during the day feeds the sugar and the fruit, and at night builds that acidity, which is what wine's all about. People say, where are you from? And I say, well, actually, I started my life in this valley, the Banghoek Valley. I left South Africa when I was quite young, but I visited all my life. And it's a place, this place is what I actually say I regard as my spiritual home. I think, in a way, it's just a very, very special place. It's where, these vineyards, meet nature, and we have nature all through the farm and surrounding us, and these wonderful mountains that tower above us. But it's a very special place, and I think it's actually reflected when last week we had a visitor in the tasting room from America, and the sommelier who was tasting with them said that she, at one point she was almost or possibly in tears. She was just so overwhelmed by what she was tasting in the glass, and just being here, and her visit to South Africa. She got a bit teary, and I think that's a great thing. I think it's a really amazing thing that people really do find that experience in their glass such a wonderful thing. But it does speak to this special place. It's I want to actually had some other very nice feedback during the week. A very good friend of mine, Jeremy, if you're watching, always very honest with the truth. So not because he's a friend of mine, but he ordered some of the Univ maiden vintage Chardonnay and tasted it at the weekend, and he said to me it was the best Chardonnay he's ever tasted, which is actually I'm going to take it that he meant it. I think he did, and I think that's sort of inspirational to all of us here. I think what Nick's doing with Chardonnay and generally in our wines is just incredible, and what we're doing in the vineyards with Christo and his team is equally marvelous. But fantastic to have that feedback, and I think it just speaks to this is really there's something very special here, and as I said earlier, our job is to translate it. So we've just finished harvest. It's April. Not many people know this, but South Africa is actually maybe the Cape, more specifically, and the winelands it's such a nice time of year. It's this beautiful blue skies, not much wind, low 20 degrees. It's absolutely stunning. So we've finished harvest. A lot of people think, well, harvest is in September, like the Northern Hemisphere. No, we're upside down. So it's Southern Hemisphere. Harvest is just completed. We believe it was one of the best harvests in 25 years, which is great. This block behind me is a new block of Cabernet Sauvignon. It actually had its maiden harvest this year, and just talking to Nick and Christo about, they're super excited. Very, very small berries. We had this 5 months of almost zero rain. So that's great because it's, the vines have to dig deep for their moisture. And yeah, the berries are, really small, and that means that you've got a lot more flavor to juice ratio, which is great, and particularly in the Cabernet. So we're very excited about that. And we also harvested right next door to this block a new block of Cabernet Franc, and same thing. So no, we're super excited by the harvest, and it's early days. The wines will be slowly making their way to barrel. So it's going to be a while before we actually really get a sense of the wines, but no doubt they're going to be very, very impressive. April's a month of just lots of different things. We don't irrigate during the growing season, and as soon as we harvest a particular block, Christo will turn on the irrigation. The vines are sort of gasping for water. They've sent their roots deep into the ground to find any moisture. But you want to spoil them and give them a little bit of water so they can actually use what's left of their leaves and the left of the sort of stronger early autumn sunshine to build their roots, build their energy. So when we get to next season, which starts in September, they'll be ready to go. So that's a big job. And then we do a lot of testing of the vines. Just it's nutrition and disease management. We take leaves from every single vine and we run it through a testing system, which is it's laborious work, but it's really important. We've got about 60,000 vines or something like that, so it's a lot of testing. But if you want to keep your vineyards pristine, that's what we have to do. And then in the cellar, there's lots of post-harvest pump overs and punch downs, and just sorting the wines out and getting them into barrel, and amphora, which we're using this year, or concrete eggs, or foudres, all the different vessels that we mature the wines in. So that's going on. So yeah, a great season. Really, really, really good, positive vintage, and we're calling it a Goldilocks vintage. But it's it's fantastic to have yet another season in barrel and complete, and we're nearly there. So from Rondekop at Oldenburg Vineyards, it's been great to be with you.